So just as Jon Jones was expressing how much he really wanted to fight at the White House, Dana White says no. He has put his foot down on Jon Jones, and he claims that he cannot risk Jon Jones at the White House. Absolute cinema. He's done with Jon, just like we all are. I really hope that Dana White stays true to this statement and doesn't do a complete 180 a year from now whenever the White House card is actually coming up. Let's listen to what Dana White had to say about Jon Jones at the White House, and then let's go through Jon Jones crying on Twitter non-stop about it. There's also a few other things I want to go through as well in this video where Dana White mentioned this about Jon Jones. He had a lot of other things to say that I'm going to go through at the end of the video, starting with this.
And Jon Jones says he wants to be on there too, and he says he would fight whoever the champion is at that time. But would you be okay with him like coming back and potentially winning that belt again? And you might have to go through.
Well, it's not even about him winning the belt. I mean, you know how I felt about him. I can't risk putting him in big positions in a big spot and have something go wrong.
Yes! Get rid of him. There he is. That's fat Dana White, back from the past, dude. He just gained 30 pounds on his face. And you can see the old Dana White on him. If only he was a little bit pinker for this moment, it would have been perfect. Dude, he actually said that about Jon Jones. He can't risk him in any big events. He can't risk him in any big spotlights. And as soon as he said it, a weight was lifted off of his shoulders. Look at young Dana White. Look at what I've just stopped this frame at here. You can see Dana White de-age himself by about 20 years, and there's that sparkle in his eye again. The type of sparkle that he only gets when he says, nobody's getting performance bonuses tonight. The type of sparkle that he gets when he says, Muhammad Makayev is cut from the UFC. That's the type of sparkle that we're seeing here from Dana White. This is the type of sparkle that Dana White gets when he's about to go off on Oscar De La Hoya. This is vintage Dana White back after that statement, and I hope it stays the same. Dana White's done with Jon Jones, dude. And you want to know why? Jones humiliated him for years. And Dana thought that Jones, after all of this, was actually going to fight Tom Aspinall, and that all of the humiliation would pay off in the end, and it didn't. It did not pay off at all. It made the UFC look bad. It made the UFC look pathetic. But also it made Dana look bad. And it made Dana look pathetic. And he's done. He's done with Jon Jones. And this was just after Jon Jones, after Dustin Poirier's retirement, by the way. Jones made it all about him fuck himself. Someone on Twitter with Makhachev in their profile tweets, way better than your BS retirement. Of course, Jon Jones, he can't help himself. He's hooked to social media. He has to respond to everything some random account says. So he can't help himself but reply to this and say, why the negativity? My last fight, I beat the greatest heavyweight of all time for a record-breaking 16 title fight wins. What the... Dude, he's such a bitch. Jones is such a bitch. How is this guy one of the greatest fighters of all time? Whatever you want to say about PEDs and roids, the dude's an absolute savage in the octagon. Why is he such a bitch? Straight up. For a record-breaking 16 title wins, and I did it in my home state at Madison Square Garden. And if that wasn't my last time fighting, the next one will be at the White House. At the biggest event in the history of our sport. Will it, John? Will it? Are you sure about that, Jon Jones?
Back and potentially winning that belt again, and you might have to go through.
Well, it's not even about him winning the belt. I mean, you know how I felt about him. I can't risk putting him in big positions in a big spot and have something go wrong.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
There you go. So it looks like that's not going to happen, is it, Johnny boy? Okay? Looks like someone's not going to get their spot at the White House. Okay? And thank God Jon Jones is not at the White House. I made this joke earlier on the Mighty Guru show, which is out now. But thank God Jon Jones is not going to be allowed at the White House. Last thing we need is a first lady with a black eye and a busted lip. Okay? We really don't need that image. And I'm saying we like I'm American. Well, I don't think America needs the image of the first lady with a busted lip and maybe a broken arm from a Kimura attempt. I mean, Melania Trump right now is weaving and bobbing in the bathroom in the mirror, practicing for forever a day where John Jones would show up at that White House. Okay? She really is. She's working on striking. I think Ivanka's working on her Philly shell, but then again, Jones might throw elbows. So they're going over every possible circumstance. I think the Secret Service is there working on their strike and defense. I think Melania is actually working on a pretty mean sprawl right now, just in case there were to be an occasion where John Jones showed up to the White House. Okay? But either way, it's good to see John Jones's dreams crumble. He deserves this. I can't believe he's crying so much about, like, time for a record-breaking 16 title wins. Like, he has to big himself up to Dareman, some guy with Makachev in his fucking thumbnail picture with 28 followers. It's a non-account. It probably got the 28 followers from this tweet, John. You're finding fucking bots on Twitter to respond to and to cry about. This is literally a bot account pretty much. Just freshly made for the reason of saying, I wouldn't even put this past me. Maybe this was me sleepwalking. Made a fake account on Twitter to get at John Jones during it. I don't know. But Jones just can't help it. And he's crying. And then also, he's not accepting that this is what Dana White said. So Dana White said he can't trust you to headline anything. Now we're going to go back and we're going to listen to exactly what Dana White said here, just so we can really disprove John.
Have to go through.
Well, it's not even about him winning the belt. I mean, you know how I felt about him. I can't.
First of all, you know how I felt about him. Don't act like this has been your take the whole time, Dana. You've been fucking guzzling him for the past however many years it's been. I don't like Dana sneaking in. You guys know how I felt about John Jones. No. We know what side you were on for the past year and a half. Don't try and twist it, Dana. I accept your absolute shutting the door and closing the chapter that is John Jones. I absolutely accept that. However, don't act like you've been this way the whole time, buddy. He's had you around on a leash for the past year and a half. So I don't like Dana saying, you guys know how I feel about him.
It's not even about him winning the belt. I mean, you know how I felt about him.
Either way, let's really focus on what Dana White says here just one more time for John Jones on Twitter.
I felt about him. I can't risk putting him in big positions in a big spot and have something go wrong.
Fair enough.
Yeah, especially the White House card.
Especially the White House card. So, and look at Dana, dude. And as soon as he says it,
Dana, just seeing.
Just like quite nervously twitching the microphone around his hands, all sorts. But either way, can't have John Jones in big positions. Can't risk it, especially not at the White House card. Daddy Dana done said he can't trust you to headline anything. That's actually not what he said. Again, another random account, 39 followers. A veteran. Thank you for your service. Okay? We appreciate you, brother. Not a guy who doesn't even follow me. These are randoms that are shitting on Jones. Okay? These aren't my soldiers on Twitter or anything. Daddy Dana done said he can't trust you to headline anything. That's actually not what he said. He said he can't afford for anything to go wrong. With you. Because of you. This is revolving around you. He didn't say he just can't afford for anything to go wrong. He just can't afford for you to be there because he can't afford for anything to go wrong. You are the factor that makes things go wrong in the UFC. Which is understandable. It's hard to commit to any athletes literally still a year out. So this is that was a broad stroke statement from Dana about any UFC fighter. Now, once Jones is done coping, he will cry about this for a giant paragraph. And we're going to get to that in a second. It's hard to commit to any athletes literally still a year out. Let's not twist words. My entire career has been a main event. Now, you've been the headliner for a long time. You've been the headlines of, more things than UFC cards. There's been a lot of headlines with John Jones. But that's just not true. Your entire career has been a main event, but your entire career has also been a bunch of cancelled main events. Failed main events, entire events that nearly got cancelled and shifted to new locations. UFC 232, you versus Gustafsson in a rematch, shifted to an entirely different location because of you on PEDs. UFC 200, you were supposed to be the main event there. Why wasn't that a part of your career? Because you tested positive for PEDs. Other situation with the DC fight as well. You've had another main event overturned to a no contest. That's a terrible look for the UFC. They don't need that shit. And you've done that as well. How many more, John? How many more? You turned down Chael Sonnen on short notice. Chael Sonnen tried to fight John Jones way back when on short notice, and Jones cancelled the entire event because he didn't want to fight Chael on short notice. So actually, John, yes, your entire career has been a main event, but you're forgetting that the reason why Dana don't want you on the fucking White House card isn't because he don't want Melania Trump getting beaten up by you, because you can't fucking help yourself, you cunt. But you can't be trusted. Because yes, your whole career's been main events, but your whole career's been failed main events as well, and we can't fail the White House main event. So you can't be fucking trusted to be in that fucking house or in any position where things rely on you to happen. We just can't have that anymore in the UFC. Get rid of him! Anyway, would you still fight even if it's not on the White House card? I don't think so, but right now it's hard to say. This guy really recently announced his retirement, by the way. I'm just going to focus on staying focused, getting in the best shape, been fat for 3 years, and continuing to nail all the business that I already have on the table. I don't know if this guy has Jeff Molina bent over that table. I'm not sure, but he's really going to focus on nailing all of that business that he has on the table. Maybe Dana White's bent over his table back home. I'm not sure, but John Jones has been crying about this now, okay? So he's not going to fight if it's not on the White House card. That is the thing that would entice him back. And Dana's not fucking interested in having John Jones on that card. End of discussion. Then you've got this. After Dana White said what he said, and after Dana White deemed that he was done with John Jones, I heard the comments made at last night's press conference. While I was a little disappointed, coping and acting like it wasn't said, by the way, while I was a little disappointed, I'm still in the UFC's drug testing pool, staying sharp and continuing to train like a professional. By the way, Joe Rogan, he just doesn't even train. See this, Joe? Somebody show this to Joe Rogan real quick here, guys. We need to show that to Joe Rogan because he needs to see that Jones said that. Because Joe Rogan will read that, continuing to train like a professional, and then say, he doesn't even fucking train. Which is another video I fucking made about him. I'll be ready for whatever comes next. Nothing, mate. So you best be ready for fuck all. In a recent interview, I shared that the opportunity to fight at the White House gave me something deeper to fight for. A why that goes beyond paychecks or belts. Now remember, at first it was about paychecks and belts. But now he needs a deeper meaning now that Aspinall's the only thing left for him. Fighting for my country gives me a greater purpose, and there's one thing that John Jones has done. Listen, he was just out in Thailand. It's not far off Vietnam. He was terrorizing the locals over there, guys. Dude, John Jones is right by Vietnam, terrorizing the locals of that area. So, dude, he's, you know what, fighting for the USA, he's on track, you know? But, you know, there's one thing that Jones has always wanted to do is to represent his country with pride and really put a good image out for them. And that's all he's lived his life by so far. So Americans are cocaine-doing, wife-beating retards that are gay, is what I'm getting from this. The silver lining in all of this, look at him trying to find the fucking positive. The silver lining in all of this is knowing the fans see my heart. They see, yes, John, we see your hearts. This is, and the fans really appreciate John for who he is. That's what the silver lining is here. What fucking imaginary fairy tale world is John Jones living in? The type of fairy tale that lets you take PEDs and become a world champ. Honestly, delusion makes sense for him. If anyone else got this free pass in life, they'd be delusional too. They'd have main character syndrome too. They see I'm ready and willing to take on anyone. Add something on the end there, John, because that bit's not true. To represent my country on a historic stage. He had to add that bit on because he's not ready and willing to take on anyone. That's what Jon Jones thinks the fans see. I know that seeing all of this is the fans see my heart. They see that I'm ready and willing to take on anyone. Okay. No, you're not. You've been bitched for the past year. Just like you were bitched for 3 years when Ngannou was up next. Just like you were bitched whenever Cain Velasquez is up next as well. You've bitched out of every tough matchup your whole career. Usyk's the fucking man, dude. Up to heavyweight. AJ twice. Fury twice. Dubois twice. Fuck it. Fuck it, dude. Usyk's such a fucking G compared to this fucking bitch. I swear to God. Either way. For me, it's never been just about the opponent. I'm chasing legacy. Something timeless. Something bigger than the moment. So for now, I'll keep grinding, stay patient, and stay faithful. To who? Oh, maybe Jesus. I don't know. So I don't know what Jon thinks he's doing. I'm ready to fight on July 4th, Independence Day. The day that the UFC will be independent from your bitch ass. And you'll be sitting on the sidelines watching while the real fighters compete. Thank you. Get rid of Jon Jones. Sick of hearing him crying on fucking Twitter the whole fucking time while Dustin Poirier was fighting. Get rid of him. It still annoys me that people are here like this. Jon spitting facts. If it ain't talking shit, it's facts. Also, remember when all the haters thought Jon wasn't going to do shit at heavyweight? Yeah, exactly. He still ain't done shit at heavyweight. He made it look easy. Like, the Jones fans are so fucking gay with him. But that's all I got to say about this bit. Good to see Jon Jones put in his place. You ain't at the White House. It's not called the White House because it's full of cocaine. If somebody alerted Jon Jones to that reality, maybe he wouldn't want to be at the White House. I don't know what sort of idea that he has for this. But that's not the only people that they're talking about being at the White House, because Dana White was asked a question about Conor McGregor being at the White House. As we know, McGregor's been up to no good recently as well. It's insane that McGregor and Jones are the two that we're like, who's going to headline? That's the two people that the UFC have got to rely on here. McGregor or Jones. So there best be some other star coming up soon. I don't know. They can do something, though, with Holloway, with Gaethje, with Ilya, with Makhachev. They could figure out something for the White House card. I am sure of it. But let's hear his answer to the McGregor question at the White House.
House card, potentially. Conor McGregor said he's back in the pool with hopes of potentially fighting on that like a year from now. And then Nate Diaz said he would love to be the opponent. I know you've said that trilogy is something you could do anytime and it would make sense. Are you interested in doing business with Nate Diaz?
Why Nate Diaz? Why even bring up Nate Diaz?
Nate. I love Nate. That fight's a year away. So I'm not even thinking about anything right now.
One thing he knows, though, is that Jon Jones ain't there. This is before he said the Jon Jones bit, by the way.
The landscape will change so much by next 4th of July. You know, who knows what's going to happen? Who knows who's going to be on the card or what the main event will be or who will hold all the titles, and everything could be completely different. So it's not even worth thinking about it right now.
Sure. I guess just one follow-up on that, though, with Jon Jones. He said,
I have other problems.
I didn't even realize he tried to shake off the Jones question at first. Another thing about Jon Jones. I have a lot of things going on, you guys. Hands come out. Lego hands Dana starts coming out.
Thinking about it right now.
Sure. I guess just one follow-up on that, though, with Jon Jones.
The second Jon Jones is said,
I have other problems.
I have other problems. Listen, guys. And then they ask it again, I guess.
I'm dealing with the logistics and you know, all the things on figuring out how to make this thing happen. How do we want
Yeah. And then they end up asking him about Jon Jones.
to do it? I'm going to fly out there in about 10 days, 2 weeks, and we'll have all the renderings done, sit down with him and go through the renderings and see what he wants to do and what he doesn't want to do.
This sounds very real, by the way. The White House card sounds very fucking real. I think it's going to happen. You can't have McGregor at the White House either, guys. We just can't have McGregor there either. Dude, there's so many wardrobes at the White House, I'm sure. Walk-in wardrobes in the White House. And I don't know if they have a couple weights laying around, but you cannot allow Conor McGregor in the White House. You just can't do it. And don't let him in there, because McGregor will sprint into that White House, fucking chuckling to himself like a leprechaun, and he'll disappear into some walk-in wardrobe. And you're about to see power of which, the looks of which Twitter's never seen. You're going to see some crazy posts on Twitter after that one. Connor, you've got to let me in. I need my shoes. They're in the wardrobe. You've got to let me in. Don't come in, Donald, yet. I'm busy. I'm making history in here, Donald. Yeah. Either way. 4 minutes 15. What else was said in this? I'm going to go over some other moments here as well. Oh, for fuck's sake. Well, I'm going to go over some other moments in this video, maybe. I might even cut all this bit out because that ad placement's really fucking pissed me off. And none of them are skippable now. I may have to get YouTube. There we go.
Did you buy one of those hand grenade drinks on Bourbon Street?
This is what?
I didn't make it far on Bourbon Street. I got about 15 steps, and I had to go back and get in the car and leave.
Dana White did not make it far on Bourbon Street. You want to know why Dana White did not make it far? Okay? I'm going to show you why Dana White did not make it far on Bourbon Street in just one moment. You've already seen it because I didn't have it prepped for the video. But let me tell you why.
We have been.
Did you buy one of those hand grenade drinks on Bourbon Street?
I didn't make it far on Bourbon Street. I got about 15 steps, and I had to go back and get in the car and leave.
Yeah.
So, no, I didn't get a hand grenade drink.
He didn't make it far in Bourbon Street in Louisiana because I tell you guys, on Bourbon Street, bars were playing I don't think this is the reason why Dana White. I just wanted to include it in this video as well. This is so fucking weird for me, by the way. On Bourbon Street, bars were playing the fights along with MMA guru commentary on the side. What the fuck? That is so fucking weird. That is so weird to me. That's why Dana White didn't go to... Dude, I barely made it a couple steps down Bourbon Street. I walked around. I saw MMA Guru on a fucking screen in a bar. I fucking hightailed it out of there, kid. I bet you anything. No, I'm joking. That's not why Dana White left. I'm not that egotistical. But, isn't this fucking crazy? Speaking of Bourbon Street. Dude, bars are out here. I guess the Prohibition bar is out here playing my fight companion along with the fights in the bar of people. And Bourbon Street is like a pretty popular place, no? I don't know anything about it, but sounds like the way Dana was asked about it sounds like a hot spot. Dude, chat, look at all these ladies. Look at all the women in this bar, chat. Can't stop. They're here to see the guru on the screen. You may think they're there to buy drinks at the bar, but let me tell you, they're not. They're just tuning into the guru's fight companion, dude. This is my fan base. Proven. Fat black women. I'm joking. No, that's not my fan base, I'm sure. But women are my fan base, guys. Listen, we have literally a dozen women fans that are subscribed to this channel. 1 dozen. But yeah, that was really weird for me as well. But there's other moments that Dana White spoke about at this press conference that I wanted to go through. And they start at 10:30. What was this at the end? It might have been something about the arena.
And everybody showed up and put on a great performance. So, yeah, very happy.
Just one quick, maybe stupid one for me. I always notice the power slap solo cup there. What does Dana White drink in that power? I see with
lots of different things.
What's in that post fight?
Right now, it's Coke Zero. Yeah.
That's why I included this. Fucking MMA media members. This is just after he said that John Jones ain't allowed at the fucking White House. And this is the questions that MMA media have for Dana White. By the way, talking about the White House card, it sounds like it's going to happen. He's just spoken about the fact that John Jones ain't fucking allowed to be there. This is what MMA media have got to ask him.
And everybody showed up and put on a great performance. So, yeah, very happy.
Just one quick, maybe stupid one for me. I always notice the power slap solo cup there. What does Dana White drink in that power? I see with
lots of.
Maybe a stupid question, yeah. Might be one. What are you drinking? What are you drinking that power slap cup? Dana's just happy that he said power slap cup. The words power slap were spoken. What I put at the end of this? Oh yeah, Dana White has been talking for a long time about how events with like that are out in the open. So this might open the door for a lot of like arena events. Because Dana's been talking for so long. I don't know if you guys know about it. If you know ball, you know ball. If you know bald, you know bald. For information about Dana. He's been talking forever about how he never wants to do an open roof event. Ever. He'll never do it because of how difficult it is. And here he just very flippantly says, now that the White House thing is an option, that like open roof arenas aren't even that big of a deal compared to like the Sphere. So maybe this White House event is the start of us getting some arena shows. Like how the boxing was at Wembley Arena. Maybe Ilia Topuria could pave the way for that in Spain at the Real Madrid stadium, whatever stadium they're at.
Is that I don't think they've ever had anything very heavy out on the lawn, and the octagon alone weighs 20,000 pounds.
You're talking about the White House not having anything heavy on the lawn.
So,
You don't think the outdoor is going to be harder to deal with than?
oh, it will be, in its own ways, but not harder than the Sphere.
Okay.
Sphere is very unique and very challenging.
That's good. I actually like to hear that. One, it makes me think, why couldn't we do an outdoor event earlier with an open roof arena? But two, it means, you know what? He's handled the Sphere. If he can handle the White House, there's a lot of more trustworthy weather places than wherever the fucking White House is. So, get to Spain, get to Real Madrid's arena, sell that motherfucker out with Ilia Topuria versus Islam Makhachev if the stars are to align. Like and subscribe. Thank you for watching Toodle Pip. Haha, John. Nice White House card. Lol. You're a bitch. Goodbye.